नमः सर्वेभ्यः कक्षायां स्वागतम्।
नमस्कार
प्रार्थनया
सर।
प्रारम्भं
नमस्कार सर।
कुर्मः।
नमस्कार।
गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। हरिः ओं तत्सत्। ह्यस्तनकक्षायाम् अस्माभिः तत्र समस्तपदानां विषये, रचनायाः विषये, अपि च अलङ्काराणां विषये, ततः प्राक् अव्ययीभावसमासस्य विषये च किञ्चित् ज्ञानं प्राप्तम्। इदानीम् अग्रे पाठस्य अग्रिमभागे गमिष्यामः। तत्र सुभाषितानि इति अस्ति। पादपानां भयं वातात्, पद्मानां शिशिराद् भयं, पर्वतानां भयं वज्रात्, साधूनां दुर्जनात् भयम्। पादपानां भयं वातात्, पद्मानां शिशिरात् भयं, पर्वतानां भयं वज्रात्, साधूनां दुर्जनात् भयम्। वातात् पादपानां भयं भवति। वातात् फ्रॉम द winds, strong winds. पादपानां, पादपः वृक्षः, तरुः पर्यायपदः। पादपानां तरूणां षष्ठी बहुवचने, भयं प्रथमा एकवचने नपुंसकलिंगे च भयम् इति। पादपानां वातात् भयं भवति। So, for the trees or of the trees there is fear from the wind. So Panchami directive due to bhiti, bhaya, etc. You have studied in Pravesha. So now this prototype repeats 4 times here, the last one being applicable to us people. Padmanam shishirad bhayam. So for the lotuses, the fear is from the Shishira Rutu because of the cold nature. Okay, so they are not prosperous in that season. So Padmanam Shishirat Bhayam. So here Vatat has stayed Takara because of harsh letter Pa. So the Chartva has happened. Instead of Vatat, it has reversed back to Vatat. Whereas Shishirat, the Jastva has remained due to soft vowel Bhakara here. Soft consonant, sorry. So you can see the difference. Chartva, Jastva. Okay, here there is Jastva and then Chartva. Here there is only Jastva. Okay. Parvatanam bhayam vajrat. Vajra is equivalent to the Tadit or the heavenly electric bolt is called Vajra. Of course, also Indra's Ayudha is also called Vajra. The relationship may be that actually Indra's Ayudha only manifests itself as the Tadit. So, Parvatanam bhayam vajrat. So, these thunderbolts create fear in the mountains because it slowly erodes, of course, accompanied with the intense rain, etc. That is what actually slowly strips the mountains of its flanks. Okay. Sadhunam durjanat bhayam. So, in the last one, the Kavi concludes, for good people on this earth, there is always a fear of this durjanas or bad people. Okay, so basically, everything that is trying to do good has something that opposes it. We may not always agree that wind is in a sense of an enemy, etc., but to an extent that is to be accepted in the context of how the Kavi quotes. Okay, so there are other benefits to Shishira Rutu, but at least for the lotuses, there is fear in that. So every good thing, like a tree or a lotus or a mountain, etc., and even a good person have their fear coming from those who simply are beyond argument and forceful when they are strong. Just like in various seasons, these three things, effects of nature, create trouble fruits of the nature like Padapa, Padma, Parvata, etc. Okay, so last one we have no disagreement. The earlier ones, it's in a Upamalankara to the last one. Okay, but here if you see, there is no yatha, tatha, eva, etc. So basically, there is a slightly different type of alankara. We're going to learn later. It's a derivative. So these are all drishtantas. Okay, these are all uh, other similar examples to the statement which is sadhunam durjanat bhayam. Okay, so you can kind of say that. So padavibhagaha.
Mahodaya, here Vajrat is not the rainfall itself?
No, it is the tadith, but you can take it with the whole effect.
Okay.
Because it doesn't occur in isolation, it occurs along with severe rainfall and things like that. So, yes, you can take it as a collective effect. Maybe the Kavi has alluded to the whole effect as Vajrat. So, Padapanam Bhayam Vatat. So, there is just Anuswara Sandhi reversal, nothing incredible there. Same here. But here you see, Vatat has remained Vatat. That doesn't mean no. According to Paninian rules, it is not as if no Sandhi has taken place. Actually, a Jastva followed by a Chartva has taken place, we say. Chartva is the reversal of Jastva. To some extent, you can argue that. Then Anuswara Sandhi is very straightforward. So here you see Jastva evidence. Okay. So what else? Nothing much actually. Durjanat Bayam also has a Jastva with a Samyukta Akshara. That's that. Durjanad Bayam. Dakara has come due to Bhakara being a soft Vyanjana. So Mrudu Vyanjana. Okay. So Karkasha Vyanjanas, first two columns. Mrudu Vyanjanas, the next columns. Okay. Okay. And also there is some extension rule for the Avargya Vyanjana similarly. Okay. Padapanam vatat bhayam bhavati asti. Padmanam shishirat bhayam bhavati asti. Parvatanam vajrat bhayam asti. Sadhunam tu, I mean, we can imagine it tu, turjanat bhayam bhavati. So nothing much to enormous to explain. Okay. So let us understand a few details. Like for example, Shishira. Shishira is Himakala. Himakala. So it is during the snowy season, onset of winter. So Himakala Karanatah Shishirat. See, Vajrat they have translated as Indrasya Vajrayudhat. There is actually a Puranic story, okay, related to how the wings were cut to size, etc., and all that. So they are more taking that story like derivative of how our kavis explained nature. So they noticed that weathering phenomenon and how the parvatas were being cut down to their size by the weathering phenomenon, but they formed a nice story around it as if there was some vajraghata on the parvata, etc. Okay. I also don't know the minute details of that Puranic storyline. That is, sometime we can catch up with that. But they have taken that. But for me, this is more due to the weathering effects of the thunder strike and its accompaniments. Okay. Sadhunam sajjananam dushta janatah. Durjana dushta jana. Very easy to expand duhu as dushta. So. So let us look at the what you call grammar aspect. So padapanam pullinga shashti bahuvachana, right? Padmanam is also similar. Okay. Napumsake paranto shashti bahuvachanam. Parvataha parvatanam. So padmam padmanam. Sadhuhu sadhunam. Here ukaranta pullinga. Okay. All are in shashti, because they are all similar drishtanta vakyas for the one target. Okay. Then All these are Panchami. Vatat, Shishirat, Vajrat, Durjanat. Vatah, Vatat. Shishirah, Shishirat. Vajrah, Vajrat, Vajram, Vajrat. There is a dual linga, both linga it is available. So then Durjanah, Durjanat, Pullinga. Okay. Then Bhayam, it is an Apumsaka Shabda here, but it is in the Karta position. Notice this. This sometimes we fail to notice this kind of things. Okay. Bhayam asti, Bhayam bhavati. So Bhayam is the Karta of the As Dhatu or the Bhu Dhatu that we can infer. Okay. So Bhaya of whom? Of the trees. Due to what? Due to wind. Those are the other vibhaktis at play, but the prathama is bhayam. Okay. So sometimes we fail to recognize the karta correctly. We end up concluding, oh, this may be some karma. Bhaya is not a person, so it can be just an object. That's not the grammatical viewpoint. Karta doesn't have to be a human being. Okay. Durjanat. So jayate iti janaha. See, the derivation for jana is jayate. The who is he is born, so he is jana. Okay, and that's called an ach kridanta pratyaya. And duhu is the upasarga. Okay, so yeah, no, it is dushta, short form for dushta. Hmm. दोषात् दोषेण अथवा दोषात् जायते इति दुर्जना इति प्राय is born due to a mistake. Okay. Bhavati asti. So that is the adhyahrita kartari lat kriya pada always for all those four sentences in the. Tatparyam, always useful to read. So let us read this. Dridha moolaha api. Dridha means firm. Moola means root. So firm rooted though they are. So dridha moolaha api vrikshaha vegayuktasya vayoho karanatah patanam praptum arhanti. Vegayuktasya vayoho. The wind that is accompanied by speed. Okay. Due to that reason, Tasil pratyaya. Karanat is normal vibhakti rupa. Karanataha is with the tasil substitution. This taha comes from tasil. Okay. Patanam praptum. Patanam means fall. Praptum to beget. Arhanti. They deserve is not the correct translation. See, that's why we have to be contextually accurate in taking the Samskrita dhatus or kriya padas in the correct form. Potentially they might suffer fall. That's how we have to translate it. Atah vrikshanam vayutah bhayam apayah asti. Therefore, for trees, there is a fear due to wind, from wind. Apaya means danger. Okay, bhaya can be taken here in the sense of apaya. I mean, if you want to imagine a soul, which we always, of course, imagine in the vrikshas, that soul suffers the bhaya. But for us, the perceiver, it is the danger to the trees. Okay. Yadi himapatah bhavati, tarhi kamalam nashtam bhavishyati. So they don't like the snowfall, they suffer. So they get dried up or withered. So, right. Shishira rutau himapatah bhavati kalu. Isn't it that in Shishira rutu there is snowfall, at least in the northern parts? Ataha kamalani Shishira rututaha bhitani bhavanti. Everywhere they have consistently used tasil. Okay. See here, rutuna will come. Okay. Guruna, rutuna, like that. Shishira rutuna. Like that. So bhitani bhavanti. Purvam parvatanam pakshaha. Here there is a little explanation of that Pauranika Katha. Purvam parvatanam pakshaha asanniti. Earlier there used to be wings to the mountain. Indraha tan pakshan kartitavan. They used to fly around, it seems. Very imaginative Puranic stories. This is one common trait between Greek, ancient stories and Indian Puranic stories, actually. Very colorful they are both. Okay. पर्वतानां पक्षाः आसन् इति इन्द्रः तान् पक्षान् कर्तितवान् इति च कथा श्रूयते. So yeah, they were cut down to their size or whatever. Atah vajrayudhatah parvatanam bhitihi. But I would like to more imagine this in the natural weathering phenomenon. All right. Sajjanaha yadyapi yasya kasyapi ahitam na acharanti. Even if good people never do not act in a way that will be not good for others, of whomsoever, tathapi, even then, parapidana swabhava yuktaha, those who are embodied with the nature of troubling others. Don't we see them all? Dushtaha, vina karanam, without any reason also. Of course, they will always have a divine reason, sadly. Sajjanan pidayitum arhanti. I mean, again, arhanti should not be taken as arhata or something like that. They could trouble the sajjanas. Ataha sajjanaha dushtajanebhyah bhitaha bhavanti. So, very straightforward. एवं लोके एकैकस्यापि एकैकविधं भयं भवति एव. So here it would have been more useful if Sanskrit Bharati had put some time down to describing the Alankara. Sometimes when we teach Alankara separately rather than teach it everywhere where we notice it, but they didn't want to front load it too heavy for you. Maybe I should invest some time in putting the Alankara explanation myself, because I don't have any fear of overloading you guys. I don't have to face the exam. Okay, any questions? Padapanam bhayam vatat, padmanam shishirat bhayam, parvatanam bhayam vajrat, sadhunam durjanat bhayam. So remember the four. Padapanam bhayam vatat, padmanam shishirat bhayam, parvatanam bhayam vajrat, sadhunam durjanat bhayam.
Sir, the vibhaktis that have been taken in Shashti vibhakti can also be in Dvitiya vibhakti, Padapanam.
Panam. What is Panam? Panam means drink.
Sir, this is Panchami vibhakti, no?
Padapanam is
Shashti. Shashti.
But,
Ramasya Ramayoho Ramanam.
Ramam. What will be the Dvitiya vibhakti of
Padapaha Ramaha Ramam Ramo Raman.
Ramam.
Padapan will be Dvitiya Bahuvachana, not Padapanam.
Padapan. So can we take Dvitiya, sir, here?
You can't take because it is not in Dvitiya.
Of the, we have, means, I mean, it's like of.
What is off? What is off? Possessive case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Possessive case. Off is a possessive case. Belonging to, off.
No, the trees are scared of the wind. So when we say that
See,
trees,
this is not the way it is said. The sentence is, of the trees there is fear due to wind. That is how it is phrased. It is phrased differently than what you are saying. It is phrased as, of the trees there is fear due to the wind. That's how it is phrased.
Also, bhayam always takes Panchami vibhakti, no, Bhagini?
That is further. The vatat is directed by the bhaya shabda. Correct. But it's not vata, tritiya. It is vatat is taken. The origin of the fear is from the wind, so it is taken into Panchami Vibhakti. We have studied that aspect in the Pravesha Pustaka. This type of usage of Panchami. Okay, any other questions? Okay. All right. Good, actually, it's okay. I mean, Pagini had some confusion about why Shashti, etc. We have to, because see, that's what. Sometimes we don't identify with sentence formations like this. Okay. So, Padapaha Vatat Bitaha. That is what we are usually, active flow is what we are used to. But here it is in the possession. The fear is the possession, not exactly a valued possession, but nevertheless a possession of the trees. And the fear is due to wind. So it takes Panchami. If you go back to Pravesh, I'll say Choranam Arakshakat bhayam, something like that. Though it is an untrue statement, but take it. They fear none. अधमा धनमिच्छन्ति धनमानौ तु मध्यमाः उत्तमा मानमिच्छन्ति मानो हि महतां धनम्. अधमा धनमिच्छन्ति धनमानौ तु मध्यमाः उत्तमा मानमिच्छन्ति मानो हि महतां धनम्. So अधमाः विसर्गस्य लोपः. Okay, adhamaha dhanam icchanti. Here there is a simple samyuktakshara. Adhamaha dhanam icchanti. Dhana manau dvandvaha. Dhana manau tu madhyamaha icchanti. We have to assume that there. You can say icchanti is what we call Dehli Deepanyaya. There is a phrase we call Dehli Deepanyaya, which you have studied in one of the earlier books of the same course. So this icchanti is there to the right of adhamaha dhanam and to the left of dhanamanau to madhyamaha. So we can apply in both sides. So adhamaha dhanam icchanti dhanamanau tu madhyamaha icchanti. Uttamaha punaha visargasya lopaha mrudu vyanjana. So uttamaha manam icchanti. Okay, mano again visargasya utva manaha only. Manaha hi mahatam dhanam. Okay, so now let's get to the meaning. Adhamaha dhanam icchanti. Adhamaha, those who are of lowly nature. Okay, those who are of gross nature. Dhanam icchanti, they desire money. They think everything is money. Sadly, the world is in that status right now. Dhanamanau tu madhyamaha, those who are of the middling nature, those who are the common people, most people belong in this nature. Madhyamaha tu dhanamanau icchanti. Not just dhana, they also have some weight for respect, self-respect, you can say. Okay. So they don't seek money to when there is self-respect involved, they avoid the money. Maybe, so they dharmika ritya dhanam icchanti. Adharmika ritya dhanam na icchanti. Madhyamaha. So the common people are like this. Uttamaha manam icchanti. Manam eva. We have to imagine eva in Kavi's words. Okay. Uttamaha tu manam eva icchanti. Okay, they only give full weight to respect and self-respect and respect for others. For them, money doesn't mean much or anything because they don't depend on that to survive. They depend on their goodness to survive. I guess in the sense that they don't accumulate it beyond needs. Okay, so don't take it as a 100%, 0% type of statements. Uttamaha manam icchanti. Manaha hi mahatam dhanam, because respect or self-respect, you can take it. Okay. Though swabhimana not in a, self-respect can become a negative also if you overweight it. Okay. Yeah. So that we know. Every coin has two sides. Manaha hi mahatam dhanam. So of all the great people, okay, mahat is a big sense. Okay. So mahatam dhanam manaha hi bhavati. So here again, this is similar to see mahatam of the great people. Shashti, dhanam is the karta, manaha is the vidheyaka visheshana. Okay, bhavati is the kriyapada which is unsaid. Okay, so let us look at this Mahat Shabda because contextually we have encountered it. It's good to learn that. So it has a Pullinga and a Strilinga form. I'm sure there is an Apumsaka form. That would be Mahat, Mahati, Mahanti, something like that in the Pumsaka, first Vibhakti and second Vibhakti. Anyway, let's learn the Pullinga. Mahan, Mahantau, Mahantaha, Mahantam, Mahantau, Mahataha. See this, Bahuvachana Dvitiya, not easy. So it's like Shashti form, Mahataha. Mahata, Mahadbyam, Mahadbihi. Learn to pronounce this. Bya is a very popular declension sound in the second and third columns. Mahata mahadbyam mahadbihi. Mahate mahadbyam mahadbyah. So this is Chaturthi. So Mahatah mahadbyam mahadbyah, Panchami. Mahatah mahatoho mahatam. Mahatam is what is used here. Sashti Bahuvachana. Mahati mahatoho mahatsu. In the Mahat, in the two Mahats, and amongst many Mahats, like that. Mahatsu Jivaniyam. One should live amongst big people. I mean, big in the sense of big-hearted people. Okay. He Mahan, He Mahantau, He Mahantah. Rare usage, but it could be there. All right. So the same thing has a Strilinga version. So Mahan Vyaktihi, Mahati Mahila. That's how we go. Okay. So we cannot say Mahan Mahila. We have to say Mahati Mahila. Okay. So again, the same way, we cannot say Mahan Mitram. We have to say Mahat Mitram. Mahati, Mahatyau, Mahatyah. Okay, Nadi Shabdavat. Mahatim, Mahatyau, Mahatihi. Mahatya, Mahatibhyam, Mahatibihi. Mahatyai, Mahatibhyam, Mahatibyah. Mahatyah, Mahatibhyam, Mahatibyah. Panchami. Mahatyah, Mahatyoho, Mahatinam. So Mahatam becomes Mahatinam. Mahatyam, Mahatyoho, Mahatishu. He Mahati, He Mahatyo, He Mahatyah. He Saraswati, He Saraswatyo, He Saraswatyah. Though Saraswati it's a Mati Shabdavat. Saraswati. Okay, I'll not commit to that. Maybe it is like Nadi Shabda. Okay, so this one advantage of Strilinga versus Pullinga is Pullinga has this halantas like this, no Mahan. All of them, once we apply one of those three pratyayas, they take akaranta, ikaranta like this. They become a little simpler. So that's why this is more familiar prototype of declension. Nadi, nadyau, nadyah, nadim, nadyau, nadihi, nadya, nadibhyam, nadibihi, nadyai, nadibhyam, nadibhyah, nadyah, nadibhyam, nadibhyah. If you have done the ratana of that, this becomes fairly straightforward. There is a takaranta, snakara, all this, this is a takaranta, pullinga shabda, mahat shabda. So it has its own, that's why the ta appears as mahate, mahataha, the ta comes back in those positions. Okay. All right. So, what are the sandhis? Dhanam ichanti, samyukta akshara, dhanamano, nothing there. Uttamaha, visargalopa in two places, visa, mano, visargasya utva, manaha, mano. Aha becomes o. A gets lopa. Okay. That is the distinction between aha and aha. If you go back to visarga sandhi table, you will get that. He means indeed. That sense. Sometimes kavis throw it in, but in this place it belongs nicely. Adhamaha dhanam icchanti, madhyamaha tu dhanamanau icchanti, uttamaha manam icchanti, hi manaha mahatam dhanam asti. I mean, they have taken the hi in with dhanam hi asti. Mahata manaha hi, I would write it in that order. Manaha hi mahatam dhanam asti. Slightly hi can be taken in the beginning also. It's a coloration that you have to get used to. That's all. Indeed, type of thing. Okay. Anuttamaha janaha adhamaha dhanam vinimaya sadhana rupam dravyam. Almost like a shastra lakshana kathana they have written. I like this. See, what is dhana? Vinimaya sadhana rupam dravyam. It is a liquid thing. Liquid means it moves. Okay. In that sense, padartha, dravya. Okay. And vinimaya sadhana rupa. That means it is a means of a form that is a means of exchange. I give you something, you give me money. Then I use the money to give that to someone and get something else. So barter is aided by these tokens called dhana. Beautiful. Vinimaya sadhana rupam dravyam dhanam. Icchanti abhilashanti madhyamaha tu madhyama janaha tavat dhanamano dhanam manam cha dhanamano dvandva. Icchanti. Ichanti is plural because it is about madhyamaha. It is not about dhanamano being in dvivachana. Okay, dhanamano is a karma pada here. Okay, in dvitiya vibhakti. Uttamaha, shreshtaha janaha, manam, gauravam, ichanti. Ha. This is a good translation. You see, manam, gauravam. Okay, means some respect, weight of respect. Ichanti, abhilashanti, hi, yato hi. Okay, nice. Because mahatam, mahapurushanam, drishtya, manah, gauravam, dhanam, sarabhutam asti. Essence, sarabhutam, embedding the essence, like that. Okay, adamaha, madhyamaha, uttamaha. प्रथमा बहुवचने कर्ता अधमः मध्यमः उत्तमः इति पुल्लिङ्गे एकवचने बहुवचने एवं सर्वत्र तत्र एकवचने बहुवचने प्रथमा विभक्तौ स्थापितमस्ति कर्तारूपेण धनं मानम् इति कर्मपदं नपुंसके धनं मानम् इति पुंसि अपि अस्ति नपुंसके अपि भवति मानः मानम् इति रूपद्वयं यत् मानम् इत्यत्र नपुंसके अपि पुंसि अपि समानरूपं द्वितीया एकवचने कर्मपदं हि इति अव्ययं तु हि च स्म ह वै एतादृश अव्ययानां श्लोकेषु बहुत्र दृश्यते. हा, धनमानौ द्विवचनं पुंसि द्वितीया विभक्तौ द्विवचने कर्मपदमस्ति धनं च मानं च धनमानौ तौ इति द्वितीयायां पुनः स्थापयित्वा द्वन्द्वसमासः द्वितीयायां स्थापितमस्ति. मानः पुंसि प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचने in the last sentence there is a ekavachana. So manah mahatam dhanam asti, like that, or bhavati, like that. So manah karta manyate buddhyate anena iti. See, this is again lakshana katana. Okay, this kind of thing you will kind of see in Shabdakalpa. Beautiful lakshana katana for many words are shown there. How the word mana. So manyate buddhyate anena iti. It is understood and learnt with this. So it is called mana. Like that. Mana plus ghai pratyaya is involved. So the technical explanation is chitta samunnatihi. I don't want to go into all that deep explanation, but Shabdakalpa Druma is one of the best Sanskrit dictionaries you can find. It shows all the grammatical colorations and then beautiful. Amarakosha quotes. Mahatam pumsi shashti bahuvachane mahat tritiya vibhakti. No, incorrect. Shashti vibhakti. Ignore the 3 here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So mahatye mahyate mahyate pujyate asau iti mahan. Okay. Again there is a lakshana katana. Tesham mahatam. Tasya tayoho tesham. Ichanti. So latlakare bahuvachane. Kartari lat प्रथमा पुरुषाय बहुवचने भवति अस्ति इति अन्तिमवाक्ये स्वीकर्तव्यं कर्तरि लट्. Oh, ठीक है. Be ready, not that you will never be ever be asked to do this kind of work for Subhashitas. But these Subhashitas are quite easy verses that we are encountering. At least it's not written by Kalidasa. So they become very useful for us to do grammatical analysis like this. Right? Not that, of course, this manyate, buddhyate, anena, iti and all cannot be memorized. But just to know that there are access available to us to this Shabdakalpa Druma and other beautiful works from where we can actually go behind those words and understand how the word came to be also. Yeah, somebody has a question.
There, the dhanam cha manam cha dhanamanaha tau dhanamano, no, sir.
धनं च मानं च धनमानौ इति इतरेतरद्वन्द्वं स्वीकरोतु. किमर्थं समाहारः?
Then tau you used to know. So dhanamanaha tau dhanamano, no.
No. Dhanam cha Ramascha Lakshmanascha Rama Lakshmanau. Straight away it goes to straight away goes to Dvivachana. There is no Rama Lakshmanaha derivation.
Okay.
Not a samahara. See, samahara is a little bit shishta prayoga. So we use it when there is a kind of a singularization done for such entities like pani, pada, etc. like that. Okay. Not everywhere you can apply that blindly. तात्पर्यम् अनुत्तमाः जनाः जीवने धनमात्रम् इच्छन्ति धनसम्पादनात् एव तेषां जीवनस्य लक्ष्यं भवति सम्पादनम् एव क्षम्यतां धनसम्पादनम् एव तेषां जीवनस्य लक्ष्यं भवति so this laksham and the dhana sampadhanam is the prathama vibhakti word here karta etadrisham jeevanam kadapi shlaghyam na bhavati it's never appreciable मध्यमजनाः सामान्याः ब्रैकेट धनं मानं च इच्छन्ति धनेन सह मानम् अपि एते इच्छन्ति इत्यतः एतेषां जीवनं निन्द्यं न भवति यू कैनॉट blame them चेदपि अति प्रशस्तं तु न यू कैनॉट क्लैप them too much महापुरुषाः सदापि मानम् एव इच्छन्ति they desire this the word gauravam is better Gauram eva icchanti. Te dhanam trinasamanam bhavayanti. They consider money to be like a piece of grass. Manam eva dhanam bhavayanti. Though human beings have discovered that even a piece of grass can be money due to the effects of that kind of piece of grass. That is a different story. Manam eva dhanam bhavayanti. They treat respect as money. Manadhananam एतेषां जीवनम एव उत्कृष्टम what is this manadhananam is the question now the Samskrita Bharati has deployed this stuff compound in the tatparya so that is the avadharana purvapada karmadaraya manah eva dhanam manadhanam athava tatra but that is unpersonified okay that is manah eva dhanam manadhanam but manah dhanam yasya saha manadhanah tesham manadhananam that is the point so this samanadikarana bahuvrihi has been taken and then sheshti bahuvachana of that has been deployed manadhananam those who are treating gaurava respect as the money for those like that okay etesham jeevanam eva utkrishtam that is superior okay so this is where be ready to deploy the knowledge we have gained from these samasas okay so we should not apply avadharana purvapada karmadarya because there is a personification implied etesham right so manadhananam so manadhanah is the word so it must be a bahuvrihi so manah dhanam yasya saha rather than manah eva dhanam. Nice. Good opportunity to apply some knowledge of our samastas. Any other questions? Adhama dhanamichanti dhanamanau tu madhyamaha uttama manamichanti mano hi mahatam dhanam. We'll repeat the two subhashitas. Padapanam bhayam vatat padmanam shishirat bhayam parvatanam bhayam vajrat sadhunam durjanat bhayam adhama dhanamichanti dhanamanau tu madhyamaha uttama manamichanti mano hi mahatam dhanam. Okay. Kavya Katha. So we are starting a new story. Okay. Naishadhiya Charitam. Of course, unfortunately, we are not going to see the original or even excerpts of the original. What we are going to see an extreme compaction and simplification, just so that we learn some sentence, learn some Samskritam through reading some storyline. And also get some touch, okay, such and such kavyas have been made by these great authors of earlier times. So we will see some hand raisers if you wish to participate in the reading. Okay. So first I'll read the opening paragraph, then I will open up for you students to read. Okay. Naishadhiya Charitam. Okay. So Nishadha, Naishadha. Okay, Nishadha is the name of the area. Okay, Nishadha. So Naishadha is of that area. So Naishadiya, it's extension of that same of that area. Right? Naishadhiya. So Naishadhiya could be the king of the Nishadha Desha. Naishadhiya Charitam. Charitam means Charitram, similar sense. Okay, the happenings in the ancient times of the Nishadha Desha or of the Nishadha king. Okay. Samskrita Sahitye Pancha Mahakavyani Prasiddhani iti vayam janimah eva. Raghuvamsham, like this we know. Okay. So, Teshu, okay, list is here. Nice. Teshu Raghuvamsham Kumarasambhavam Shishupalavadham Kiratarjuniyam iti Chaturnam Kavyanam Kataha Purvapateshu Dattaha. With a particular thing, they have chosen the Mahakavyas in the various Pravesha, Parichaya, Shiksha, and now Kovida books, extracts of the summary stories, and in some places even sample verses, for example, from Raghuvamsham we have been seeing, even in Kovida level. So that's what they have based that. So remember, Raghuvamsham Kumarasambhavam Shishupalavadham Kiratarjuniyam iti Chaturnam Kavyanam Kataha Purvapateshu Dattaha Patitaha cha Asmabihi Idanim Panchamam Mahakavyam Naishadhiya Charitam Adharikritya Tasya Katha Diyate. So we are now going to the fifth one. In the last segment of this 4-layer exams, sometimes there is a scope for Samskrita Bharati to come up with one more layer, I guess. Yeah. Mahakavihi Sriharshaha Naishadhiya Charitam Likhitavan. So it is authorship is of Sriharsha. Sriharsha, remember. Okay, Naishadhiya Charitam Sriharshaha. Nishadha Deshasya Raja Nalaha. So Nala Charitam Naishadhiya Charitam. So target is Nala in the word Naishadhiya. Nishadha Deshasya Raja Nalaha Tasya Nalasya Charitam eva atra kavye varnitam. That has been described in this kavya. Ata eva kavyasya naishadhiya charitam iti namadeyam. Ata eva visargalopa. Ataha eva. Ataha eva kavyasya naishadhiya charitam iti namadeyam. Asmin mahakavye dvavimshati sargaha santi. 22 segments are there. Chapters are there. Quite a elaborate chapterization. Okay, let me invite Pavitra.
नमस्ते महोदय। पूर्वकाले निषददेशे वीरसेनो नाम नृपतिः आसीत्।
So you can try and give the simple meaning quickly if you can. Otherwise, I will do that.
Okay. In olden days, in Nishada Desha, Veerasena named king was there. Tasya putraha Nalaha. His son was Nalaha.
So Veerasenasya putraha Nalaha. So Vairasenihi would be his another name. Vairasenihi. Vaira. V-Y. Okay, you can't help it. It looks like enemy, but Vairasenihi iti Nalasya aparanama bhavitum arhati.
Nalaha sakalasu vidyasu parangataha asit. He was he was good in everything, even studies or
yeah. See this parangataha word, how beautifully it is constructed. Param we know is the far shore, the target shore. Gataha means the one who had gone to. So this nga is the savarna. So parangataha, one who had reached the destination of all this education. What it is, that means he had graduated in all of them. That means he had learnt it all. Yes.
Niti nipunaha adhyayanaशीलश्च asit. So he was good in Niti Nipunah means all
Niti
the
Shastra.
Niti
Niti
Shastra
Shastra. Nipuna means one who was expert in
expert.
Niti. Niti is Niti Shastra. What is Niti Shastra, Bhagini?
Niti means what is good, what is bad, what is right,
To
what
a
is
very,
wrong.
very simple definition, that is what it is. Actually, Niti Shastra is actually the Shastra of the kings.
Okay.
Okay. How to rule, how to conduct the kingdom, including, of course, the laws and ways of the people, how it should be guided, but more importantly, even how to grow the kingdom, how to protect it, everything is under Niti Shastra. So, Chanakyasya Niti Shastram iti Shrutapurvam syat bhavatya.
Mहोदय.
Tasmin Shastre Nipunah asit Raja kila.
Adhyayana even in all studies, Mहोदय. Adhyaya.
Yeah,
education.
he was oriented towards learning.
Tasya kirtihi Suryachandroyoho kirtimapi ajayat. So his braveness or his he was famous such that even in sun and even in moon loka, everywhere it is spread. Something like that.
Don't go to
Sorry.
that loka. See, Surya Chandrayoho, vibhaktis are important. You should notice them. Surya Chandrayoho, of the Surya and of the Chandra. Kirti. Kirti means fame, right? Kirti is the rays that emanate from someone. That's why it means fame. So the fame of even sun and the moon, it won over his fame. That means his fame was stronger than the fame of sun and moon, little bit of what you call utpreksha.
Nalaha Rajyabharam Svikrutavan. He took over the kingdom.
Bhara, see Bharana, see how the word Bhara comes from Bharana. Bharana means to take charge, to fill the sense. Okay. So Bhara means that which is the weight which has to be held. So Rajya Bhara means he has to take the weight of the rulership of the kingdom.
Nalasya Rajye Daridreya Meva Nasit. So in his
So this was another Ramarajya. There was no poverty at all.
no poverty in his
Okay. Okay.
Nalaha Bahu Sundaraha Asit.
Okay. What else you can expect? This guy had to be beautiful, right? So he is beautiful.
He's
Fine.
very beautiful. Tasya Netra Dvaya Mapi Kamala Dvaya Miva Asit. His two eyes were like lotus.
Two lotuses. Yeah.
Mandena Hasena Saha Chandrasya Kantimapi Jitavan. His smile was such that even like a moon smile, like brightness of the moon.
But Manda is very important word here. It's not Attahasa, it is Mandahasa. There's a huge difference between normal Hasa, Mandahasa, and Attahasa. Attahasa is derisive. Okay? Like that. Okay? Just a smile. Mandahasa. That is no vocalization. Okay? So yeah, all right. So he won over the shine of the moon also with his smile. Yeah.
Evam Nalaha Gunavan Rupavan Shuraha Vidyavan Cha Asit. So he was a good person, very good looking, very brave person, and very educated person.
Oh, okay. Where is he? Where is he? Everybody is looking here.
Etadrusham Nrupam Ko Va Na Adriyate. I didn't get to that.
Adriyate. So that means Adara Bhavaha. Okay? Adara, you are aware, no? Adriyate is the same dhatu, but is in the active Kriya Pada form. Okay? Ang Upasarga is there. So there is who will not respect or like such a king like that.
Okay. Kava Strina Echanti. Which woman will not like him? Loke Nalasya गुणान् न केवलं निषददेशीयाः प्रशंसन्ति स्म किन्तु अन्यदेशीयाः अपि प्रशंसन्ति स्म. Not only in Nishada Desha, his famous was everywhere.
Prashamsa, his appreciation was there all over. If only we had a king like Nala, like that. They don't know what is going to ensue. The Kavi is going to bring us down quickly. Thanks, Bhagini. Well read. So let us invite Sudhir Mandal, sir.
Namaste, sir. Nishedo deshosyo sumipe evo Vidarbho namo rajyamasit. Vidarbho, a state named Vidarbho, was nearby the Nishedo desho.
So the Vidarbha was a neighborhood country of Nishadha.
Okay, sir. Tatroho Bhimo Namo Guno Sampanno Raja Asit. There a Gunoban king named Bhimo was there.
Yes. He was the king. Bhima was the king of Vidarbha.
So Shuroho Viveki Cho. She was conscientious.
Oh, very nice. Brave and conscientious. Yes.
Damayanti Tasya Sutaha. Damayanti was the daughter of Bhimo.
Okay.
Sa Attyantam Rupavati Asit. She was also very much beauteous. Sa Biramo Kale Pituhu Bhimo Rajosya Sabha Bhavanam Agosyati Smo. During the time of leisure, she appeared before the courtiers or sabhasad.
Yeah, very good. I mean, she was not like sitting there like a princess. She used to actively participate in the ways of the court. Beautiful.
Tatra Sangeetam Srinuti Smo. She appeared here to hear the song.
Musics. Yeah.
Natyam Pashyati Smo. She also observed the drama also.
Dances.
Panditanam Sahitya Shlokan Opi Srinuti Smo. There he also heard the Sahitya etc. from the learned party.
Correct.
Opi Srinuti Smo. She also heard that.
Used to listen to that. Sma is, used to sense. Okay. The sma prayoga, it's an avyaya. When you take sma with the kriyapada, it means used to is the sense you take. Used to listen, used to see, used to go, like that.
Okay, sir. Savante bonditono raggaha prasangsayam vachayanti smo.
Okay, slightly sabante vandinaha ragnyam prashamsam vachayanti sma.
Okay, sir. At the end of the court, she also praised the wise man.
No,
or the king.
Slightly different. Okay, because you may not be familiar, there is a class of courtesans called Vandi Magadaha. Okay, they are the court musicians who are there to give the parak to the king. So like, the king, when he walks and all, he can't go without a proper decoration, right? All the chhatri and, all those things used to be, the signs have to be held, and then there have to be people to hail him. Oh, hail the great king, he cometh down the aisle, or whatever. So there are these Vandi Magadikas or something like that. Vandi Magadas or Magadika, some word is there. Okay, Vandi is the short that is taken. Vandinaha. Okay, Vandin Shabda, so Vandinaha. So these singers of the kingly praise. Okay. So they used to sing the praise of the king. Ragnyam prashamsam vachayanti sma. Sabante, at the end of the closure of the activities for the day.
তস্মিন অবসরে বিদেশেও রাজানাম ওপি বর্ণনম ভবতি স্ম।
So these Vandis not only used to praise the king, they used to even appreciate the other, maybe the friendly nation kings and Samantas, etc. Also, they used to appreciate. Okay, so it was like a little bit of a news capsule at the end of the day, interestingly. So, okay, the word in English for Vandi is bard. Vandin is bard.
তদা নল মহারাজস্য বর্ণনম বিশেষণম ভবতি স্ম। There the gunagana of Nala Maharaj also described. একই কপি গুণহ বহুকালম গম্ভীর বাক্যে বর্ণিত ভবতি স্ম। They are in the same scale. The guno broadly was described.
Slightly varying. So, ekaikaha api gunaha, every one of his good qualities, ekaikaha is a visheshana to gunaha. Ekaikaha api tasya gunaha, every one of his good quality, bahukalam, for a long time, gambhira vakyaihi, with serious sentences, varnitaha bhavati sma, used to be explained.
সর্বে নল বিষয়ে অতিবাদর ভাবম প্রকটয়ন্তি স্ম। সর্বে নল বিষয়ে অতিবাদর ভাবম
Ativa adara bhavam, ativadara bhavam.
Everyone, so please, everyone, নল বিষয়ে
Okay.
everyone.
I'll explain. Everyone, everybody, with respect to Nala, okay, lot of affectionate feelings they used to speak out. Prakatayanti, in the sense of they used to represent or speak out. I mean, that means he had gained a lot of respect even in this kingdom of Vidarbha, though he was a Nishada Raja.
Okay, sir. Idam punoh sutta damanti manosa evo nolam apekshito bhoti. When hearing these again and again, Damanti at herself loved towards the Nolo.
Okay. I mean, in her mind only, she desired him. That sense. Apeksha means desire. Okay. In the sense of the translation. Okay. Thanks, Varya. Well done.
No, sir.
Subramanya Kumar.
Mahodaya. Bhimarajah Danashirah. Bhimaraja was great in charity. The nature was charitable nature.
Correct.
Tat karanat api bahavaha brahmanaha rajasamipam agachanti sma. Due to his charitable nature, many Brahmins used to come to him. That's it. So yathochita danani prapnuvanti sma. Desired amounts of wealth was being given to required amounts of
Yatochita is not desired. Yata uchita means as was fitting.
Befitting amount of charity was given to
charity was being obtained by them.
Correct. Te api nalam bahudha varnayanti sma. Even those Brahmins used to describe Nala in many ways. Teshu kechana ekante bhimarajam uktavantaha. They in solitude,
in privacy,
some of them told Bhimarajam this way. Rajan nishadha deshadhipaha nalaha eva damayantyah anurupaha varaha iti. They told Rajan, O king, Nishada Deshadhipaha Nalaha. Nalaha was the king of Nishada Desha. Alone is the suitable bridegroom for Damayanti. Imam Vishayam Sakhi Dwara Damayanti Jnatavati. This in privacy, which was told to the king, that incident came to be noticed. I mean, Damayanti came to know about that through her Sakhis, through her friends. Atah sa nalavishaye dhridam anuragameva akarot. Due to that reason, she intensely started having affection towards Nala.
Very good. Now, if you notice now, we learned Anurupam as the Avyayi Bhava Samasa just now, right?
Yes.
So if you see, application here is as if it's a Visheshana Anurupaha. So there is a certain what you call deviation from the norm that it's so you cannot call this as a direct application of Avyayi Bhava. So further, maybe Anurupam yasya asti saha anurupaha. Like that, we have to take a Bahuvrihi derivative from that and take Anurupaha. Okay? So it's a growth further with another process from Anurupam. Okay? So something to notice. And it is now a Visheshana to Vara, Bahuvrihi type of Visheshana to Vara. So thanks, well read, good translations.
Welcome.
Dhanyavada. So now let's invite Chitra ji.
एतस्मिन् एव समये भीमराजः चिन्तितवान् पुत्र्याः दमयन्त्याः विवाहः करणीयः इति. So in that time, the Bhimaraja, King Bhimaraja thought, I have to do the wedding of my daughter Damayanti, like this. Ekasmin Shubhadine Pratah Nala Maharajah अभयञ्जनादिकार्यं
पुनः पठतु अभय अस्ति वा
अभ्यञ्जनादिकार्यं परिसमाप्य प्रजाभ्यः दानानि दत्वा नगरस्य देवताः अर्चितुं गतवान्. So one day in the pratah, one day in the morning, Nala Maharaja, whatever duty which has to be done in the morning, he finished that.
Bhagini is skipping correct translation. What is Abhyanjana?
Abhyanjanadi Karyam means I thought morning duties like that.
Abhyanjana is actually the snana.
That's what morning duties like that.
Okay. You can say no. Taking bath and other such duties. Yeah.
Parisamapya, having finished all those morning duties, even after giving the citizens all the danas, charity, datva, after finishing, Nagarasya Devata Archayitum Gatavan, he went to pray to the Nagara Devata.
Now here, Bhagini, Devataha is in which vibhakti, which vachana?
Bahuvachana.
Which vibhakti?
Sashti vibhakti. Sashti vibhakti.
Devatanam archanamiti nasti, devataha architumiti asti.
It is this thing, Prathama vibhakti.
Why it is Prathama? What is the Kriya pada here? Gam dhatu is applicable to Raja, no?
Yes.
So devatas cannot be in Prathama.
Then it is Sita. I don't know.
Karma pada. Okay. Devataha architum. They are the object of the Archana Kriya of the king. Okay. Devataha. So the form in Dvitiya Bahuvachana here is not Devatan like Raman or something like that. Okay. So this is a different declension. So Devataha architum. Okay. Strilinga pada.
Okay. Tatra kechan brahmanaha nalam drishtva ekante damayantyah rupa guna shiladhani shiladini niveditavantah. They informed. So there some brahmanas after seeing Nala in solitude, in privacy, they told about Damayanti's Rupam, beauty, her character, her gunas, good character, everything they informed Nala.
So they are doing this mama business. They go here also, they go there also. Everywhere they're getting dana. So why not do some good? Continue.
एतेन नलः अपि दमयन्त्याम् अनुरागवान् जातः. So because due to their this thing, Nala also became fond of Damayanti. The fondness for Damayanti started. तथा यथा दिनानि
Tatha no, yatha yatha.
यथा यथा दिनानि गतानि तथा तथा दमयन्ती विषयकः नलस्य अनुरागः तीव्रः जातः. So as the time went on, Nala's fondness for Damayanti became more and more Tivram. It became more serious.
More intense.
Intense.
Okay. See, the yata is as and when. Okay. Tata is then and then. When there isn't any equivalent in English. But so as and when the days went past, we don't say tata in English. We just go. Okay. In fact, tata is the not required even in Sanskritam. You can put it also. No problem. So,
Damayanti eva maya परिणेतव्या इति सः निश्चितवान्. So I have to marry only Damayanti, like that he decided.
Okay, we will take a break here because there is a lot of story still remaining to be read. And so let us take a water break and gather back at 12:10. Okay, please take a water break at this point. Okay, welcome back. I think Anantalakshmi ji took down her hand. Maybe she was disappointed. So let me invite her back now. And then Veena Kamath later can do the last portions. Anantalakshmi, you are here? Please read the.
Yes. We're in the third page.
Ekada Nalaha.
Yeah. Okay. Which paragraph?
Next paragraph. Ekada Nalaha.
Okay. Ekada Nalaha vanasya saundaryam drashtum इच्छन् अश्वम् आरुह्य वनं प्रति प्रस्थितवान्. Once Nala enjoyed the beauty of the forest and he got onto a horse and he went towards a jungle.
Yeah, proceeded. Prasthana means proceeding. Okay, proceeded towards the forest.
Vane sasyaihi प्राणिभिश्च तस्य राजोपचाराः कृताः. Sasyaihi are the swans.
Sasya means simply plants.
Plants, okay, plants. Pranibhi and animals. Tasya rajopacharak, they welcome him.
Yeah, by whatever their own means, like, so they kind of welcomed him. So this is not only people, even animals used, like our Kumarasambhava, our Raghuvamsha also had similar explanation for how the king was, Dilipa was, welcomed by the latas and all that. Continue, Bhagini.
Tatah saha udyanam gatavan. From there he went to a garden.
Curated garden, yeah.
Tatra saha sarovare ekam suvarna hamsam apashya. There he saw a golden swan.
Correct.
एषः हंसः मया ग्रहीतव्यः इति नलः चिन्तितवान्. This maya means I am attracted.
No, by me.
By me. Okay.
Aham isthira the maya iti bhavati. Tvaya maya, by me, by you.
Iti that.
Tritiya vibhakti.
Yeah. Nala thought that way. This is Hansa is being attracted by me.
No. This Hamsa should be grabbed by me. Yeah.
Okay. 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 I took it the other way, like I am attracted, that way I took. अतः सः स्वरूपं ह्रस्वं कृत्वा काष्ठमूर्ति इव स्थितवान्. Kaashtamurti is as a wooden image, wooden image.
idol.
Idol. At Swarapam Viswam Krutva, Kaashtamurti is so he stood like a image, wooden image.
Wooden idol.
Tam Murtihi iti matva Suvarnahamsa tasya samipam agatah. So seeing that it is a Murti, the golden swan came towards him. Tat Chane eva Nalaha Hamsam Grihitavan. That time itself Nala caught hold of him.
See, sometimes this grihitavan here and grahitavatavya. So it has its strange ways. Sometimes it becomes repa, sometimes it remains a rikara, like swarakshara. So when it's a swarakshara, we have to pronounce this gr. When it is a repa, we have to read it along with the swara. Here akara is there. So ra, gra. Here gr. Okay.
Sir, what is this hasvam kritva?
Harasvam Kritva, I mean, reducing his form. That means not like he widened his hands and all that. He little bit, when you want to become still, you make yourself a little small. That thing.
एतद् दृष्ट्वा अन्ये सर्वे हंसाः कूजितवन्तः. Seeing that, even the other swans started singing.
Not exactly singing, they started crying is the better.
Making noise.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Kujana, you're right. In other context, it is like singing. Here it is more like screaming.
तथापि नलः हंसं न परित्यक्तवान्. Nala then
even then tathapi.
Tada Suvarna Hamsam.
Okay. Just pause here. I will give chance to Bhagini. Veena Kamatvarya, you can complete the sentence.
Tada Suvarna Hamsah avadat. Yadi tvam mam tyajasi tarhi bhavata prarthitam upakaram aham karishyami iti. So the swan, the golden swan said, if you leave me now, then only I will give you whatever you wish for. I will grant you your wishes.
I will. Upakara means, see, karya, upakara. That means return of favor.
Return of favor, correct. Return of favor. Nalaha hamsam tyaktavan. He left the swan. Tata tam damayanti vrittantam nivedya nalaha uktavan. Hamsa shrestha damyanti mam eva yatha parinayet yatha karotu iti.
Tatha karotu.
So he described his feelings of Damayanti to him and requested to the swan, hey swan, the great swan, you create a situation in such a way that Damayanti starts having a feeling for me. Is that or wedding?
Yeah, or she will marry me.
She will marry me. Nala Damayantyoho vivaha karya sadhanaya hamsaha vidarbha desham prati prasthitavan. So having the swan finally having completed the wedding ceremonies between Nala and Damayanti.
Oh, you are going too far. You are killing the whole Kavi story by completing the marriage also.
Making it possible.
Sadhanaya, to achieve. Vivaha karya sadhanaya, in order to achieve the wedding or marriage.
Went towards Vidarbha Desha.
That's all. That means he was a good swan. He wanted to not just fly away, he wanted to help. Okay. So Nala may have been not right in grabbing, but the swan was honest enough. Okay. All right. So thanks, Bhagini. Well read. Thanks. So now let us have some questions. So again, I can see a show of hands for those who wish to answer one by one. I will invite back Veena Varya only because she still has her hand up. So Nalaha kasya deshasya raja? Veena Bhagini.
Vidarbha Deshas. No. I missed the first part.
Nishadha deshasya raja. Kila?
Nishadha Deshas.
That's why I remember. So Vidarbha and Nishadha are two kingdoms involved. Nishadha deshasya raja Nalaha. So same way Vidarbha deshasya raja kaha asit?
आसीत् भीमोः सर
भीमः भीमः विदर्भदेशस्य राजा आसीत् भीमस्य पुत्री एव दमयन्ती तदपि पठितवन्तः that is next question. Okay, so Mondal Varya, Sudhir Mondal Varya, दमयन्ती कस्य सुता?
दमयन्ती कस्य सुताः?
सुता नो हा
दमयन्ती भीमस्य सुताः.
सुता end with akaranta. Okay, don't do visarga everywhere. दमयन्ती भीमस्य अथवा विदर्भदेशस्य राज्ञः भीमस्य. If you want to, you don't need all that. विदर्भराज्ञः भीमस्य विदर्भराजस्य. राज शब्द when samasta goes to akaranta. विदर्भराजस्य भीमस्य सुता.
Okay, namaskar.
Well done, Varya. Chitra ji, next question for you. Read the question and answer, Bhagini.
Nalaha sarovare katam atishtat.
Atishtat. Lang rupa.
Atishtat. Nalaha sarovare kashtamurti iva atishtat.
Sarovare sakshat na sarovara samipe, but prayah sarovare svikartavyam tatra. Sarovare iti asit va. Sarovare. सरोवरे दृष्टः परन्तु काष्ठमूर्तिः सरोवरे अतिष्ठत् इति नास्ति परन्तु स्वीकुर्मः. सरोवरे इति भवति. सरोवरे काष्ठमूर्तिः इव अतिष्ठत्. वेल् डन् भगिनी. स्वरूपं ह्रस्वं कृत्वा and all, if you want you can contribute, but काष्ठमूर्ति is important. Thanks Bhagini. Now we will invite Lakshmi Krishna Varye. Next question you read and answer.
Okay.
किमर्थं विदर्भदेशम् अगच्छत्?
No, not Jai Varya. Lakshmi Krishna.
Yes, sir. I'm there. Hansah किमर्थं विदर्भदेशम् अगच्छत्? नलदमयन्तयोः विवाहकार्यसाधनाय हंसः विदर्भदेशम् अगच्छत्.
Well done. Okay, so Naladamantyoh vivahakaryasadhanaya sadhanartham. You can use artha suffix also. Okay, thanks Bhagini. Okay, Shri Devi Darisi.
नैषधीय चरितं केन लिखितं? नैषधीय चरितं महाकवि श्रीहर्षेण लिखितं.
Very good. Mahakavi Sriharshena Likitam. Natva happens. Okay, but
Sriharshena
Likitam. That's okay. Sometimes Natva we miss. It's not a great problem at this level. Well done. So I think you guys have understood the story, and I think when you guys read yourself and participatively, then that's what I would request you to do. Of course, I can't give opportunity for everyone to read in the class. I would request you to be like small children, your own grandchildren. I guess a lot of you here are grandparents. I know the statistics from my Google stats. So I would request you to read like your grandchildren, okay, or your children, for a few of you or youngsters, or yourselves, very few of you who are very young. Okay. So with that, we conclude the Naishadhiya Charita first reading. We will be going to read the continuation of this story in further stories. The swan is like the golden fish which grants 3 wishes. Yeah, that one is a Chinese fable, I guess, right, Bhagini and Bhagini? Yeah. Yeah. Well done. You see the equivalence of all these colorful stories in various cultures. Shlokeshu Anvaya Kramaha. So we come to the next segment. So we are continuing what reading of Raghuvamsham, right? So we are continuing and following our king Dilipa as he goes along with the Nandini cow to the forest, etc. And unfortunately, during a moment of distraction, Nandini is caught by this Kumbhodara named Simha, and Kumbhodara speaks, and our Dilipa tries to launch an arrow, but his hand gets frozen and he's surprised. And then the Kumbhodara starts speaking and telling, I am Kumbhodara, such and such Kinkara of Shivagana, whose back is purified by the placement of Shiva's feet as he climbs on to Nandi, etc., etc. Very colorfully, Kalidasa has painted it for us. See, one verse of Kalidasa stays like a painting in our head. So when it stays like a painting in our head, no, our appreciation of his kavya is very high. He achieves a lot with one verse. Okay. So, aham yadyapi shivasya kinkaraha tathapi simhaveshena atra asmi. So, further words of the Simha in other verses of Kavi Kalidasa has been summarized in very lame sentences here. So, even though I am the Kinkara, the aid of Shiva, but now I have taken this shape of the Simha, I am here. Tatra karanam asti yat aham etasya devadaru vrikshasya rakshakah. Why I am here in this form? Because I have been appointed as the protector of this Devadaru tree. Devadaru tree, it's the very large conifers in the Himalayan ranges. Those of you who have done trekking in the Himalayan ranges, in the heights where still vegetation is supported, not in the greater heights, in the lower heights, you will see these beautiful trees, which are like each is like a you can call it like a goddess. So that kind of a tree is there. It is called Devadaru. Devanam vriksha. Daru shabda is a paryaya pada for vriksha only. So Devadaru vriksha.
Is it the same as the Deodar?
Deodar, exactly. Deodar is the modern apabhramsha of Devadaru. The word Dio of the European origin comes from the Deva of Sanskrit origin. Okay, or is related to, let us be very careful, related to the Deva Shabda of the Sanskrit origin. So, tatra karanam asti yat aham etasya devadaru vrikshasya rakshakah iti vadanti. So, vadati asmakam kumbhodaraha dilipam evam varnayati. Agre kim iti pashyamaha. Kanduyamaneena katam kadachit vanyadvipenonmatithantvagस्य अथैनम् अद्रेस्तनया शुशोच सेनान्यमालीढमिवासुरास्त्रैः. Tough one, Kalidasa. Kanduyamaneena katam kadachit vanyadvipenonmathitatvagasya अथैनम् अद्रेस्तनया शुशोच सेनान्यमालीढम् इव असुरास्त्रैः. Kanduyanam means scratching. Okay. Kanduyamanaha means that which is scratching in the continuous tense. Kanduyamanaha. Kanduyamanena katam, the waist part or the body part. Okay. Kadachit, sometime. Vanyadvipena, by an elephant of the forest. Vanya means of the forest. Vana, Vanya. So, Dvipa. See the beautiful word for elephant, Dvipa. Dvivaram pasyati iti Dvipaha. It drinks twice. Once with the snorkel, next from the snorkel into its mouth. So the name again is descriptive. Same way, Padapa Padapa for vriksha is it drinks with its feet. Padapaha. Very technically precise construction of names in Sanskritam. Okay, so Vanyadvipena, by a forest elephant, Unmatita Tvagasya. Unmatita Tvak Tasya. Okay, so one who had the skin that was inflamed, that means some scratch feeling was there in that elephant. So that elephant sometime, okay, with its scratchy back, okay, further we will see what it's doing. Atha enam adrehe tanaya shushocha. Okay, this is a bit ahead. Kavi has placed this a bit ahead. Okay, senanya Senani, Kanduyamanaha means scratching only. Okay. So, Unmatita Tvagasya Kanduyamanena as a Karana Bhava. By the scratching of an by an elephant of its inflamed skin, okay, of its body, sometime, I mean, upon this Devadaru Vriksha is implicit, probably. Okay. So, some elephant which wanted to scratch its back chose this Devadaru Vriksha as a, as a scratch post, which we know very well is the behavior of elephants. So, by this, Kanduyamane, by this act of scratching, Atha enam adrehe tanaya. So, enam vriksham. Okay. Atha, for due to that, observing that, okay, following that, Adrehe Tanaya, who is the daughter of Adri or Parvata, is Parvati. So, Parvati, enam shushocha, I mean, she regretted this. I mean, she cried over this act of Kanduyamana, Kunduyamanena by the scratching. Okay. Senani, Senanyamalidham. Okay. Senani. How do you break this? Senanyam. It is there. Senanyam. What is the meaning? 13th. Senanyam iva. Oh, Senani is our Kumara, which we saw somewhere else. So, Senanyam is him, as if it is her own son Kumara. Senanyam Eva. I think that is the sense. Okay. Like she was, as if the tree was her own son. Senanyam Eva. Okay. Shushocha. Alidam Asurastreihi. What is that doing? Asurastreihi Alidam Senanyam. Okay. Alidam means embedded by. Embedded by the arrows of the Rakshasas, Asuras that he fought. So, Parvati is feeling that this tree is like the Senani, and the way it is getting scratched by this elephant, which is, having this inclination to scratch, as if the astras of Asuras, the arrows of Asuras, were hitting her own son. Okay. Senanyamalidam iva asurastreihi shushocha. So how did she regret the status of the tree? Katham enam shushocha. Senanim asurastreihi alidam iva shushocha. Okay. Upamalankara in the katham iva part. Okay. So actually, enam is critical. She cried over this tree. Okay. So, Kanduyamanena, due to what reason? By the scratching act of Vanyadvipa. Okay. So, it's a little complex construct. So, only one Kriyapada, Shushocha. And Karta is Adres Tanaya or Tanaya. Okay, is the Karta. Adrehe is the Sambandha Pada related to Tanaya. Adrehe Tanaya enam shushocha. That is all is the compact form of the sentence. So, daughter of Parvata, she be-cried over this tree, or be-cried this tree. That is the sense in Samskrita. Okay. So, she expressed her anguish over this tree. Tree is the karma pada for the shoka. Okay. Enam. So, kidrisham enam senanim alidham iva asurastrehi. So, enam builds the upama set. Asurastrehi alidam iva senanim. Senanim iva we have to put in the end. Iva shushocha. Okay. So, atha is a connector word because of the karana bhava of what happened. So, kanduyamanena dvipena vanyadvipena unmathita tvak asya. Okay. Kanduyamanena.
Unmatita is the tree.
Unmatita tvak. Maybe also, maybe the bark removed is also unmatita, perhaps. Let us.
Tvak is the bark.
Tvak is the bark. Tvak is also the bark.
Unmatita
Tvak is
tree.
also the skin of the elephant, but I think unmatita tvak asya is related to the tree side, perhaps.
Peeling of the bark. Peeling of the bark.
The peeling of the bark due to the scratching of the elephant. So let us see. Unmathita was peeled off asya. So tvak asya unmathita abhavat. So kadachit vanyadvipena vrikshasya taroho atva vrikshasya tvak unmathita abhavat is the first part. Atha, due to that,
where did the tree come in at all in this whole thing?
That is the contextual. That's why when we read Kavya, no, the missing verses are being supplied like this. So the context of the Devadaru Vriksha is implicit from the previous verses, because our Simha is standing as the Rakshaka of the tree. So the Simha is explaining why he became to be the Rakshaka of the tree, because once Parvati saw that by Aranya Dvipa, this tree was being stripped of its bark as he was scratching. Okay. All right. So let us see the Anvaya Vakya, then it will be clear. Kadachit katam kanduyamanena vanyadvipena asya is there, no? Asya here. Okay. Tvagasya. So asya is vrikshasya is the inference from context of previous verses. So Devadaru vriksha asti asya vrikshasya. Like that we have to take. So kadachit katam ganduyamanena vanadvipena asya tvak unmathita abhavat. Atha, due to that, adrehe tanaya asurastrehi alidam senanyam iva. Okay. Enam shushocha. Like she almost considered this tree to be her own son. In that sense, she regretted its bark being stripped. So she established this elephant form Kinkara there, or Kumbodara, to protect the tree. That is the storyline behind his presence there. Kanduyamanena katam kadachit vanyadvipenonmathita tvagasya athainamadrestanaya shushocha senanyamalidam ivasturastreihi. So, asurastreihi alidam senanyam is the stack. Okay. Since asurastreihi is the Tritiya Vibhakti Pada related to the senanyam. Okay. Alidam. But senanyam, alidam is a visheshana to senanyam struck by. But this alidam senanyam is in Dvitiya for the Shushocha in the Upama segment, and Enam is in the direct segment of the Shushocha. But
and
that
Asuras
Enam is
Tritiya by the Asuras.
Correct. But Senanyam is in Dvitiya. Slowly I am stacking, if you listen to me. Asurastreihi, by the arrows of the Asuras, Alidam struck down or struck with, okay, embedded with Senanyam, the Senani or Kumaram. Okay. So this Senanyam Alidam is in Dvitiya Vibhakti to go with Shushocha. but its tritiya sambandha is asurastreihi alidam senanyam. Okay. There is a what you call in my world as a small second gear of this. This say asurastreihi is related to this alida embedded portion. Okay. So the verb in the alidham, which is the act of embedding of the astra, is directing the tritiya vibhakti of astra. And astra belongs to asura. That is in the asuranam astraha asurastraha taihi asurastreihi. Alidam mean embedded with. Senanyam Visheshana in karma. Why Senanyam is karma? Because it is the upama karma for enam, which is the vriksham, shushocha. Okay? Varya, are you clear? Okay. So, kadachit katam kanduyamanena vanyadvipena asyattvak unmatita abhavat atha, due to that connector, adrehe tanaya asurastrehi alidam senanyam iva. Okay, enam shushocha. So, asurastrehi is not related to shushocha. It is related to kriya of this lih dhatu in the alidam. Okay. Lih, if you see, is licked in the sense of the astras licked his skin. That means they embedded themselves in his skin, pricked his skin. That is the sense. Okay. What is the translation of alidam? Who had been wounded. Okay. They have taken a little bit far. Maybe lih, because of the lick is in the sense of lick, means when the arrow licks somebody, it means it hurts him also. So you can take that further meaning. So what are the kanduyamanena katam? So there is a anuswara sandhi. Kadachit vanyadvipena unmatita. There is a guna sandhi. A, u, o. So guna sandhi. Vanyadvipena unmatita. Tvak. Okay. Asya. So Tvak is a Strilinga pada, is clear from Unmatita. That's how we learn. Tvak is a Strilinga pada. It may not be obvious to us, but here, due to Unmatita, we know it's not Unmatitam, it is not Unmatitaha, it is Unmatita. So it must be Strilinga Tvak Shabda. So this is how we learn. Unmatita Tvak Asya Etasya. Asya is the other variant of Etasya. Atha Enam. Here there is a samyukta. Athainam, there is a vriddhi. Atha enam, a, e, I. So, vriddhi sandhi. Athainam. Adrestanaya, visargasya saha. Okay. So, sakaraha. Punah, there is no shchut, because the sa and ta are already compatible. So, there is no shchutva. Shushocha. This is a lit lakara. Ashochayat. Ashochat or Ashochayat, I don't know the exact form. So that is the lung, and this is lit, is Shushocha. So Senani, Senanyam, it's a slightly not intuitive derivation of the karma form of Senani Shabda. Maybe Senanin iti nakaranta Shabda syat tatra. Senanyam iti agad. Not Senanim, Senanyam. Okay. Alidah, Alidam. Okay, ktanta of lih dhatu with ang upasarga, and that in karma position, alidam. Eva is a avyaya, asurastreihi, asuranamastraha, taihi asurastraihi. So pretty much we get the grammar of this. That's what you should be ready to do if required, and do sandhi vibhajana, then look at some basic samasas and break it down, keep it in mind. Conclude on what is the primary kriya, what is the embedded kriyas, like alida shabda has a embedded kriya, like this. Go. All right. So
And,
there are two
Mahodaya,
sentences in the sense that the first sentence is separated. Unmatita asit abhavat, something can be imagined for the first part. Yes, Varya?
there is one peculiar thing. So usually we don't get ikaranta pullinga. Senani is one of the ikaranta pullinga.
Oh, it is not senanin, va? It is a senani, is
Senani.
ikaranta pullinga shabda eva.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
Senanihi.
interesting word. I think we should
Yes.
put up a table of this and keep it.
Yeah. Senanihi, Senanyau, Senanyah.
प्रथम एकवचने कथं?
सेनानीः सेनान्यौ
सेनानीः
सेनान्यः
इति विसर्गयुक्तं
सेनानीः
भवति वा?
हां महोदय.
Wow. Senanihi iti. Very strange word.
Yes, very unique words.
Very unique word. Okay. I would have imagined it's like easier than that, but it is not. If it was Senanin, then it would have been Senani without Visarga.
हां महोदय.
Interesting words. One of those, what you call tough words. ठीक है. Senanyam we have to remember at least. So you guys read the English version. We got the sense of it pretty much. So let us see the Tatparya. Ekada vanagajaha, see vanadvipaha vanagajaha, atra agatya asmin devadaru vrikshe kanduyanam arabdavan. Scratching he started. Okay. Tada vrikshasya tvak nirmukta. Slow breakdown. Okay. So they have broken down that compact into individual events, sequential events. Tvak nirmukta. Asya vrikshasya विषये पार्वत्याः बहु प्रीतिः अतः सा तथा शोकं प्रकटितवती यथा पुरा राक्षसानां बाणैः पीडितं पुत्रं षण्मुखं दृष्ट्वा शोकतप्ता आसीत्. Okay, so with that Visheshana, Kalidasa takes us to another story of the Tarakasuramam. Tarakasuraha va tadeva patitam kila asmaभिः. Tarakasura. Okay. Anvaya Rachana. So they started with Shushocha. Technically, you can separate out Unmadita Abhavat. But I don't know why they didn't do that. Let us see how they so they brought it out with Atha. Okay, all right. So they have connected it through Atha. Nice technique. But you are okay to start off with in brackets Abhavat and then go explain that sentence off and then come to this. No problem. Okay. And you can explain Atha as following that in some sense like that. Tadanantaram, like that. Okay, but here they have stacked it behind this, which is also a nice technique. Shushocha dhukkita abhavat. Abhavat you can add there. Ka shushocha tanaya. Kasya tanaya adrehe tanaya. Finally, Parvati. Kam shushocha. See karma pada for the shoka. Kam shushocha enam shushocha. Okay. Kam iva shushocha. Okay, like kidrisham enam. Like that also you can ask, but kam iva shushocha because of the upama. Senanyam iva shushocha. Kidrisham senanyam alidham. One who was licked by, one who was struck by or injured by. Kaihi alidham asurastraihi alidham. Kada shushocha atha. They have brought out atha as a time. Okay, now they ask stacked behind it. Unmatita abhavat. I mean, you can put abhavat in the bracket here. Abhavat became ka abhavat, unmatita abhavat, utpatita abhavat. Okay, like that you can go. Ka unmatita, tvak unmatita, see strilinga. Kasya tvak, asya, and bracket you can put vrikshasya, devadaru vrikshasya. Kena unmatita, vanyadvipena, karanakaraka. Kidrishena vanyadvipena, kanduyamanena, one who was scratching. Kam kanduyamanena, katam kanduyamanena. Katam also has been brought. I mean, what is the waist of an elephant? The entire body, I guess, is the waist. One of the fattest waists. Okay. Kada unmathita kadachit. I mean, sometime in the past. Nice. This Anvaya is very appreciated. You can enhance it a bit here and there with explanatory words also. Okay. Kanduyamaneena katam kadachit vanyadvipenonmathita tvagस्य अथैनमद्रेस्तनया शुशोच सेनान्यमालीडमिवासुरास्त्रैः. When you read it 4 times, the 4th reading becomes easier, if you notice. But tomorrow again we may struggle, but that's why we have to try and memorize it if possible. typically you are not expected to have memory of this, but just get a general sense if questions come. But more likely, they're going to put this verse up there and ask you to do the Padavibhaga, Anvaya Rachana, Tatparya, etc. That's how they will ask you. Okay. So you can go again from fundamentals. Okay. I think we will see the Padavivaranam that they have given and conclude the morning session. So this exercise, you guys kanduya manaha, akaranta pullinga, tritiya kanduya manena, tiya ekavachana. All those things are there. I don't want to waste time reading what is obvious to you guys also to read, but important. Tvach shabdaha or tvak also you can put. Tvak shabdaha, strilinga, pratama vibhakti ekavachana. Strilinga.
Mahodaya, we can write 3.1 and 1.1. No?
Yeah. You could.
Okay.
You don't need to write pravi, eva, and all that. You can write 3.1, 3.2, 3.3. Almost universal now. Okay. I would completely accept that. I think most evaluators, all evaluators will understand that. Yeah. Dvivaram piyate anena iti dvipaha. 2 times is drunk by him. So it's padena piyate anena iti padapaha. That is 3. Vanasya ayam iyam idam. Vanyaha vanya vanyam. Vanyadvipaha. That's where vanya word comes. Ud math vilodane, to churn. Unmathita. So math is the dhatu. Okay. This is a mathanam. Samudra mathanam, something is there, no? That in fact in Dravida Shabda mattu kolu we call it. Mattu kolu comes from this math dhatu. Okay, means the one that we used to make butter out of curds, no? That stick is called mattu kolu from the mathana karya. Okay, so vilodane, disturbing, churning, that is the sense. Math. So that unmathita. The feeling of inflammation is coming from math dhatu. Interesting. Ang lich. Okay, ang is completely in that sense. A is the resultant upasarga. Lich is the dhatu. Aswadane, to taste, to lick. That is the sense. Lich. Maybe the word lick is related to lich. Kta, pratyaya is there. Alidha. Interesting extra things.
I thought Alida was being hurt, no?
Yeah, but basically the arrows tasted his skin.
Oh, okay.
Is the sense. But what is the result? Hurt. I mean, he got licked by, even today we use English like that, no? He got nicely licked
slang.
by that fellow. Licked in the sense like slapped sense.
Yeah.
It's a weird way of using the language, but it is there. You see, even old Samskrita is using dhatus that way. Nicely. Okay. So, other words are there. Samasaha, interesting for us to read. Vanyascha asau dvipascha vanya dvipaha. Vanyaha dvipaha vanya dvipaha karmadaraya. Okay. Upamana purvapada karmadaraya. Asuranam astrani taihi. Okay. I mean, Sashti Tatpurusha. Astra is like an arrow or some instrument of war. Tasya vrikshasya rakshanartham aham niyuktaha. Adya maya samichinam bhojanam labdam. Parameshwarenaiva iyam gauhu preshita. Ataha maam marayitum tava prayatnah vyartaha. Okay, these are there. Typically, only prefix sentences are thrown in by Samskrita Bharati for a verse. For some reason, for this verse, postfix words are also present. Okay, so to fill in the missing verses before they go into the next segment, which is the next verse we are going to read in the afternoon. Tasya vrikshasya rakshanartham aham niyuktaha. I have been established here to protect the tree. Adya maya samichinam bhojanam labdam. Today I have obtained a good food in the form of Nandini. Parameshwarenaiva iyam gauhu preshita. She has been literally sent to me by Parameshwara's desire. as my food. Atah mam marayitum tava prayatnah vyartah. She being there due to even Shiva's directive, where are you to prevent me from attacking her? So your effort is wasted due to the power of Shiva. That's what this Kumbhodara is telling our Dileepa. So interesting conversation will ensue. We will catch up in the afternoon. What next? See you all at 3 o'clock. See you. Bye bye.
धन्यवाद.
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 महोदय
धन्यवाद.